Buenas tardes, good evening, bienvenidos, welcome. This is Spanish 300 and I'm Maria-Paz Erker, your son's teacher, Spanish teacher. I'm so sorry I cannot be there with you in person, but I am looking forward to getting to know you at some point during the year. I would like to start by sharing a little bit of my personal information. I'm a native from Santiago de Chile. I have dual degrees in education and linguistics. And this is my 10th year teaching world languages and my 6th year teaching at SLU. Very happy to be part of this community and excited to get to know your students better. First, I would like to explain to you how teaching foreign languages at SLU works. So your high school experience differs a lot from what your students have experienced at SLU so far. In the past, language teachers will concentrate on teaching about the language. There was a huge emphasis on grammar. But in the present, we center on teaching how to use the language. We want our students to be the protagonists in our classrooms. So therefore, this class is learner-centered. And we concentrate our efforts on helping the students develop the 3 modes of communication. So being able to communicate in Spanish with somebody else, that's the interpersonal mode, 2-way communication. Being able to decode information, interpret, so that's the interpretive mode, when they are listening or reading. And also being able to present information in front of an audience, presentational speaking, or when they write essays, presentational writing. At SLU, we do not work with a textbook, so teachers work with authentic materials. We want to make sure students are getting good quality input in Spanish that has been designed for native speakers, and input in Spanish that the students will encounter when they leave the school and they apply their communicative skills in the real world. What is my compromise as your student's teacher? I'll provide a near immersion experience within the classroom. This course is taught 98 or 100% in Spanish, I will say. And my role is to act as a coach or facilitator. I want the students to speak up and be able to develop their communicative skills. And I'm here to support that journey, that process, and to help them out. The students on their side, they have to be, of course, responsible and accountable for their own learning. They have to come prepared for class, and they need to make sure they complete the required home practice. Home practice is super important for them to do and complete at home so they can navigate successfully the immersion setting in the classroom at school. I wanted to show you this proficiency drawing that we have here that tells you where your students should be at this level. The goal of Spanish 300 is for all of the students to be able to reach the level intermediate. So that middle box here on this slide. I want my students to be able to initiate, maintain, and close simple conversations in Spanish on familiar topics. So that will be the goal of the year for all of our students in Spanish 300. In regards to the materials that they need for class, we already went through this last week. And I would say most of the students have the materials they need. I provided binders for all of the students who didn't bring any. Some of them might need to organize their binder and organize the dividers, but they should have most of the materials already with them. Just to highlight the importance of having a binder just for Spanish, because we don't have a textbook, I'm going to be handing out a lot of papers and guides and materials. So in order for them to be successful in my class, I would say they have to have good organizational skills. That's why I left some time last week to help them get organized before we started Unit 1. In Spanish class, of course, we need to take advantage of the multiple educational tools that are out there to help learners be proficient in a language. So these are the apps we're going to use to reinforce the contents that I will teach in the classroom. Quizlet, Flipgrid, Edpuzzle, and Conjuguemos. So the students already know how these apps work, and if there are any questions, please tell them to come see me. I'll be happy to help them figure this out. Grading, important topic for your students. The way I set up the gradebook, as you can see on this image, is mainly around the modes of communication: interpersonal, interpretive, and presentational. I want my students to see their grade and immediately be able to identify what mode of communication they need to work on to do better. So all of the modes of communication are equally important. That's why they are assigned 30% of the grade. The 10% left refers to the minimum they need to memorize and practice on their own to be able to navigate the immersion setting in the classroom. That refers to vocab, grammar structures, and culture. Of course, I help them with that. I provide them resources to study at home, but it's on them to make sure they complete that home practice to be prepared for class. I would also I would love to be able to share with you some of the opportunities that students have during their time here at SLU to be able to develop their global competence and global awareness. So we have trips abroad, but we also have in-house activities for them to be able to participate. One of the in-house activities is joining the One Word Club at SLU. It's a club that works with international issues, human rights, and also fundraising activities to support local and global communities. If they are interested in joining, they can email me and I'll be happy to give them more information. During their junior year, students can go to Chile as an exchange student. We have this partnership with the Jesuit school in Chile called San Ignacio el Bosque, located in the capital of Chile, Santiago. This past summer, I took 3 students to this school and we were there for a month, and they had an amazing experience living what a typical Chilean Jesuit student, of course, will experience when attending a Jesuit school there. So if you are interested in learning more about this trip, I will add the information on the handout you will receive tonight on where you can find this information on the SLU website. Here we have some pictures of some of the past trips we have had at SLU, and I'm really looking forward to meeting you at some point during the year. Please, if you have any questions, do not hesitate in contacting me. My email is mperker@slu.org, and my contact information will be in the handout as well. Have a good night. Bye. Adios.